Hey guys, Glenn Kellaway back with another in my series of this is the greatest year in music and 16 albums to prove it. Man, it's been overwhelming. If you use a barometer of views on these videos, 1969 is running away with it. Over 6,000 views on this video. The closest one to it would be like 1.7. So maybe at the end of it, I'm just going to kind of do a whole review of all the years and see what I think 69 seems to be the sweet spot. Um, I've looked through another couple of years. I looked through. I was going to do 66, and you know what? I found 10 albums that I was really passionate about that would really show that 66 is just phenomenal. And then after that, it started to get weaker for me. I'm sure you guys are going to say, yeah, what about this album and that album? But, you know, there was like the Revolvers and the Freakouts and Pet Sounds, which I'm not a fan of, but I know it's a huge album. Albums like that, I mean, just made it a really important year. But again, I found it dropped off pretty quickly. So, and the same with 65. I might combine 65 and 66 at the end to be able to showcase some of these great albums. But there are 2 years that I delved into, and they're going to be my next two videos. Well, that's going to be this one today, and there's going to be one more. So I am going today to 1972, and I'm telling you, I'm having a hard time now trying to determine what I think is the greatest year in music. I thought I had it figured out, but I'm not sure. And this year, 1972, has blown me away. I left so many albums off when I was making the list of all the albums I wanted to show. I think I had 26 of them. It was my longest list, and really had a hard time leaving a bunch off. So, you know, these are kind of my favorites. I'm sure you'll have your own. There's stuff I'm leaving off that I'm sure people will love. We'll see. Anyway, number 16. Let's get started. 1972 is the greatest year in music, and here are 16 albums to prove it. I am going to start off number 16 with Will the Circle Be Unbroken by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. This is one of the most important albums, I think, ever released. It took country rock and the long-haired guy, the hippies, whatever you want to call them, who were making this music, and blended it with the country artists who were very conservative people. They weren't like the long-haired guys, but one guy who was Earl Scruggs. He was playing with his sons. Earl got the sideburns, the hair getting a little longer. Earl was really cool and hip, and he was the guy who put all this together, introduced a lot of these people. So you got the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band with Jeff Hanna and John McEwen and the rest of the guys come to Nashville to make this album of traditional country music and bluegrass, and joined by legends: Mother Maybelle Carter, Earl Scruggs, Doc Watson, Roy Acuff, Merle Travis, Jimmy Martin, and the people who played on this album: Vassar Clements and Norman Blake and Junior Husky and Oswald Kirby. But a triple album, it's just absolutely amazing. It's a historic recording. So number 16. Number 15, the debut of Steely Dan, who went on to be a pretty big band in the 70s and put out some great records. This is a pretty damn fine album. Do It Again's on here, Dirty Work's on here, Reelin' in the Years is on here. Pretty good record from Steely Dan to kick it off. That's number 15. Number 14, the greatest power pop album ever. Big Stars, #1 record. What a great album this is, man. I know this wasn't on anybody's radar in 1972, but it's just become a classic. And if you've never listened to Big Star, do yourself a favor. Listen to this album. It is fantastic. That's all I'm going to say about it, but great, great album. Big Star. Number 14. Number 13, I'm going with Neil Young's Harvest. fantastic record, man. Just the song Harvest is a beautiful song. Old Man's on here. Needle and the Damage Done is on here. What else have we got? Out on the Weekend. Man Needs a Maid. Heart of Gold, which is, I guess, Neil's biggest hit, probably. Just a fantastic record from Neil Young. Harvest. Number 12 would have to be Uriah Heep. A lot of people think this is Uriah Heep's best album. It's probably their best-selling album, and that's Demons and Wizards. What a great record, man. He was the Wizard of 1,000 Kings. And Poet's Justice, Circle of Hands. Then it closes with Paradise and the Spell. I mean, fantastic album from Uriah Heep. Okay, here's where I always lose it. Number 11. Deep Purple. Machine Head. My favorite Deep Purple album. One of my favorite, call this hard rock? I don't think so. More just classic rock, I think. But Lazy's on here. Highway Star. Of course, the classic Smoke on the Water. Space Truckin'. Just such a strong album from Deep Purple. Top 10. Number 10. Jackson Browne. Some people call this Saturate Before Using, but the actual album is self-titled Jackson Browne. Pretty fantastic record. Wow, Jackson showing his songwriting skills right off the top. Jamaica Say You Will, Song for Adam. His first hit, Doctor My Eyes. I wasn't introduced to Jackson on this album. It was the next one, For Every Man, that got me into Jackson. I went back, but Looking Into You, Rock Me on the Water, Opening Farewell. Fantastic record from Jackson Browne. Number 10. Number 9. Another kind of, I guess you'd call this singer-songwriter, Van Morrison's St. Dominic's Preview. This is my second favorite Van Morrison album after Astro Weeks. I think Van was one of the greatest artists of the 70s. The records, he was so prolific. And just a great record. St. Dominic's Preview is a great song. What else do we have on here? Almost Independence Day. Of course, starts off with that great Jackie Wilson said, do-do-do-do-do, just get your toes a-tapping. And Listen to the Lion. Great record from Van Morrison. Number 8. Jethro Tull's Thick as a Brick. I'm one person who does not consider Jethro Tull a progressive rock band, but they did make this progressive rock album, that's for sure. Thick as a Brick. Started out as a parody of progressive rock and turned into one of the greatest progressive rock albums of all time. Just fantastic. Thick as a Brick. Brilliant, brilliant album. Okay, now one thing I want to mention is 1972 the year of progressive rock? Is that when the best prog albums came out? Could argue that. We're down to... I lost my mic. We're down to the last 7. Zappa. The Grand Wazoo. One of my favorite Frank Zappa albums. Awesome cover. What can I say? Fantastic. Jazz fusion, I would say, at its finest. Just the Grand Wazoo for Calvin. Just more of an instrumental fusion album. Brilliant album from Zappa. Number 6. I didn't like this band in the 70s, but one of my top favorite bands now, Foxtrot, and what is quickly becoming, well, if it's not my favorite Genesis album, it's second. And that would be Foxtrot. What a great record. Of course, it's got Supper's Ready on it, which is just might be the greatest progressive rock song of all time. I'm telling you. This is a great album. Horizons, beautiful song from Stephen Hackett. Watcher of the Skies, Timetable, beautiful song. Great album from Genesis. Foxtrots. Okay. Number 5, the Allman Brothers. We lose Duane Allman in a young age in that tragic motorcycle accident, and dedicated to a brother, Eat a Peach. Duane does appear on a couple of these songs. It's an album they were working on at the time of his passing. But, wow, Blue Skies on here. Ain't Wasting Time No More. Listen to the words to Ain't Wasting Time No More. It's all about Greg's passing and how Duane's trying to, get past it. And he's not going to waste time anymore. And it's a great song, poignant song. And Mountain Jam's on here, of course. Great album. Number 4, I got on with Grateful Dead, my favorite band of all time, one of the greatest live albums of all time, Europe 72. These guys were on fire in 1972, probably the tightest they ever were. And after a tour of Europe, now this album, they came back to the studio and did some work on it to polish it up, I think on the vocals and stuff, but man, this is just the peak, I think. Cumberland Blues, He's Gone, Jack Straw, I mean, everything. China Cat, Sunflower, I Know You Rider, Morning Dew, everything's on here, man. It's just incredible live album. Number 3, Bowie. Catapulted him to just superstardom. Ziggy Stardust. The rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Mick Ronson's playing on this is just frickin' some of the best guitar work ever on a record. Him and Bowie just melded so well together. Unbelievable record. Ziggy Stardust. Number 2, my favorite Stones album, kind of tied with Beggar's Banquet, but Exile on Main Street. 1972, I was 19 years old. I graduated from high school. I had to do grade 10 twice because I liked it so much. And so I graduated a year later than I should have. But saw the Stones that summer in July. Exile on Main Street was my favorite concert of all time. Stevie Wonder opened the show. I remember it was a hot, sweaty frickin' night at Maple Leaf Gardens. Of course, they came on late, but they just killed it. And just a big-time great memory for me seeing the Stones for the first time. But Exile on Main Street, I love this album. It's just the way I love my Stones. Gritty, dirty, loose. Fantastic record. Number 1. The Genius album, Close to the Edge, yes. Greatest progressive rock album of all time? I think so. Just the song Close to the Edge. Between Close to the Edge and Supper's Ready, they would be my picks for the 2 greatest progressive rock songs ever. But it's got just... And You and I's on here, Siberian Plateau. Fantastic record. Beautiful. Excellent album. Yes. So that's it. 1972 is the greatest year in music, and 16 albums to prove it. And I think this deserves consideration. Everyone have a great day. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you subscribing and viewing and commenting. We'll be back at least with one more of these, at least. Take care.